fast, your legs and your kicks were good and fast. You know, the people don't think that you can hurt somebody with that. You know, when I used to fight in the Japanese tournament and you hit somebody with a round kick, they tell you no good because your heel was up.
Right.
You know, I said the second time I knock them down, they tell me no good because your heel was up. I said, well, I knocked him down. You know, I mean, all the good hard fighters like you, we know we meet up to each other and the extended family. We know guys that won't give you a quota, guys that won't BS you, guys like Ray McCollum, guys like Jim Buten or Bill Wallace. You know, tell them, you know, to get in the top 10, you had to be good. These guys didn't give you that top 10 position. You had to fight.
Yeah, to earn
guys
it.
like Joe Louis, you know, Warren Frederick, Chuck Levin, or guys like that. I mean, you put them all in one room, and guys, I tell you what, so much power, so much force inside in one room. I was just proud to stand amongst them.
Right. And that's what this is all about. This is exactly what it's all about. My commitment is to do twofold. I want to interview and do power talks, whether it's over the phone or in person, depending on where I'm at. Right now I'm presently in Florida, so hopefully I'll get to see Wallace in person and do that. But the point is that I was at the Battle of Atlanta this year just as a spectator and judge, and I got interviewed 2 times for the so-called modern-day sport martial arts magazines, which is like videos. And they walked past at least 15 people before they should have interviewed me. And I felt so sad because those are the pioneers and legends that I looked up to. So there's a generation gap that I'm trying to help bridge between by sharing information and history of the facts. Otherwise, some of these facts will never, ever be exposed. And so those the people you mentioned, I literally am going to reach out to all of them the same way I did to you, sir, because I want to make sure that if they're around, that people know who they are. And hopefully I can inspire another 99 people. My goal is to get 100 people to be the actual interviewers because there's too many stories and I'm doing too much work. Like today I'm interviewing 4 people. You know, I mean, I'm doing. I made a mistake, and I'm actually going to interview in 15 minutes. I'm going to interview Tony Lopez from Texas. You know,
right?
So the people that I have an opportunity to speak to, I'm blown away because I never had this chance. But at the same time, I believe that people will get an opportunity now to see and hear, because when you go to Dojie.com / your last name Natividad, I'm going to have a page there with your photos. I'm going to go onto the internet, get pictures, get videos, whatever I have, so at least people will get a chance to see at your own webpage all your particulars, you know, because this is something that's important to me. As a fan of martial arts and being blessed by God to be able to be a participant, that's something different. But I'm just a fan that was, like you said, fortunate enough to be around some incredible beings that changed my life.
You're good. That's good. I mean, you're right. You know, there's a generation gap. There's some people who walk that don't know the history and tradition behind it. They don't know who Masoyama is. They don't know who Takabori is. They don't know Mitchell Barbaro. He's from Matties.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Mitchell and I are going to have a power talk next week because he was the young guy, part of Kiwan King, rest in peace. The guy that's difficult to get is Mike Warren. I didn't ask you about more. Yeah, let me ask you about Mike Warren.
Oh, yeah. I fought him in St. Louis, I think it was. I used to hear a lot about Mike Warren. Mike Warren was great with his technique and great with his legs. I used to watch him and Bill Wallace. You know, and Bill used to tell me, watch out for Mike because he's got good legs. I said, oh, you guys from back east have got good legs. You know, and he was a gentleman. He's still a gentleman. I saw him a while back, and he's very, very humble and with all his accolades. You know, that's one gentleman that takes the martial arts to heart. It hurts him. It hurts me. It hurts Jeff Smith and all those guys to see tradition go by the wayside.
No respect.
You know, no respect, no humbleness. We grow up in a world full of tradition and history, and we promise to keep ourselves in that limelight. We promise to let the kids know as they were growing up. You know, there's more to it than kicking and punching. There's history, there's education. Why do you think when they first started in the old days, you cleaned the bathroom? You had to learn the values of whatever the martial arts taught you, but step ladder. The first thing was humility, humbleness, you know, and you respect. And you had to know a lot about your instructor. And your instructors, people that walk in, you had to address them. You had to know their history.
That's right.
You know, I tell people, I said, when I fought Joe Louis, they asked me, "What do you know about him?" I said, I played him in videotape in my mind 1,000 times. I read a lot about him. You have to know your enemies. You have to know who you're fighting. You just can't go in there and fight. You have to know what their moves, what their favorite tech is, where they're gonna move, what techniques they're favorite to. You have to know the enemy to at least have a chance to win.
Yeah, the strategy, the art of war. Know thy enemy, so you know what weapons to use. Did you say Bill Louis? Is that what you said, Bill Louis?
Bill what?
Who was it that you mentioned? I lost it for that. Was it Bill Louis? You said no.
No. Joe Louis.
Joe Louis. Yeah, I'll forget about it. I thought you said Bill Louis. That's William Louis. He was more like a forms guy too. But all right, yeah. Look, if it wasn't for Joe Louis, I would have never been fast feet, because he's the one that showed me the fake repositions and angles and broken rhythm and those things that you mentioned, and I put that into a curriculum. That today, if today what they're doing is called sport karate or point karate or tournament karate, then I say, well, what I did in my generation and people before me, they did something different. So if that's sport karate, then what we did was called sniper fighting. We were sharp, precise, and on point. And there was many different styles, not just everybody copying each other, you know. So snipers, dangerous, and that's who these people were to me. Because the sport is a different sport now, and I don't agree with it. So instead of what do you think about that? When was the last time you seen a competition?
Oh, I stopped going to tournaments about 20 years ago. I went to a tournament. One of my students went to one about a month ago, and it reminds me of a time when Nate Parker looked at me and went to a tournament with him, and he told me, you don't approve it? I said, I don't like it. You know, I was taught if you hit somebody, you have to ask yourself whether it's going to work on the street or not.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not, you're dead. You know, and he said, what happens when you have all the good guys step away from it? And I said, well, yeah. He goes, then you have all the bad guys, all the guys that don't learn from you guys.
Wow, that's what happens.
Yeah, that's what happens. You know,
And you know something, that you're the first person to address that issue. And I can say this much, which really freaked me out. One of the biggest moments of my entire life was me competing in New York at the Budweiser Liberty Classic, and Mr. Parker was watching me fight. I won the division, but he was watching me fight, and I was blown away. He was such a intelligent and warm man.
Yeah.
What did you say about Mr. Parker?
Mr. Parker was a mentor. He was from Hawaii too, and he used to watch me all the time, and he used to tell me, you know, get away from the all the tongue-to-do moves. Start learning what other things to do. You cannot. The pressure doesn't work unless it's open. You cannot take knowledge unless you accept it. You know, there's other systems, other styles. Learn from all of them. Learn from all of the people that are your competitor against, because they're going to learn from you. You know, understand them. Talk to them. You never know somebody. He taught me. He said, you never know anyone unless you break bread with them.
Yeah. That's those are words of wisdom. Sorry, I'm gonna be respectful of your time. Is there any people that you want to shout out or give some credit to or whatever you want? Because this is your opportunity now to sign off and say anything you want to say to anyone who's listening or students or what have you.
Yeah, I want to shout out to Bill Wallace and Jeff Smith. Leave those women alone. They're riding all over the country with their Harleys. You know,
oh man. Oh, so that's it. I guess Mr. Natividad was one of those guys that had a sense of humor and never lost it, huh?
No, you gotta have fun. You know, opportunities in this world that you have and that I have. You have the right to make sure the tradition doesn't run away from us. History can't. You know, and if you're not having fun with it, then it's a chore. You know, I'm blessed that I was amongst all those other guys, and I mentioned with Bill Wallace, with Jeff Smith, with Joe Lewis. You know, history affords those who are having a lifetime of it. You know, those are my memories of them. Those guys, Joe Lewis, Bill Wallace, Jim Buten, all those guys have a sense of humor. All those champions, all you guys are blessed, and they have a sense of humor. I used to Jim Buten, when I fought him in St. Louis, I saw him about a month ago. I said, yeah, I fought Jim Buten a while back in St. Louis. He beat the hell out of me. Buten looked at me and said, you were the giant killer. I said, Jim, I was smaller than you. You got to take it easy on me.
Oh, my God. Incredible. All right, sir, just one other question. Will it be possible in the future for us to revisit you maybe on some other specific questions and topics? Would that be possible someday?
My pleasure. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear how you doing, how things are going.
All right, wonderful. Just one last thing. In the famous words of some crazy Puerto Rican from the Bronx, when I say A.B., Master Natividad, you say see ya. A.B.
Okay. See ya.
Thank you very much. God bless you. Mahalo.
Thank you.
I think I said that right. Is that mahalo? Is that the right thing? Mahalo.
Yeah, mahalo.
Gracias. What does mahalo mean, by the way? Is that, I know that's a term of endearment, but what does it actually mean?
Means thank you, goodbye, just like aloha. Aloha means hello and goodbye.
Now, I also saw an interview where Brian Fung was interviewing you, and he said something else. He said mahalo, and he said another word after that. What was the other word?
I forgot. I think I met Mahalo Nui Nui.
Yeah, that's it.
More, yeah, Smith. Thank you and forever.
Oh, wonderful. Well, mahalo Nui Nui.
Okay. Island boy, make sure you keep your island spirit with you.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to meeting you someday in person, so I'm really looking. I'm going to do whatever it takes to break some bread with you someday. You in Las Vegas, maybe one of those events. I'm going to figure it out.
Good. You got it. Yeah, that's a promise.
Yes, sir.